Well, this is an unexpected pleasure.
Don't start, Wade. Don't start.
Well, it is an unexpected pleasure. I didn't. Well, I should have known that you would be somewhere here. I love this stuff in this place, and we're not even in the snowmobile museum.
No, exactly.
That's in the next room. It's good to see you.
It's good seeing you, Wade. It's few and far between anymore. You're usually too busy hyping the crowd up at Knoxville and too busy to stop by and say hi, or I'm too busy tearing stuff up and we don't get to meet or intertwine at any point.
I came over to you with an American flag twice during Nationals. Tell me what happened the first time.
The first time we ended up being in the first heat race and had to get everything ready and just missed, doing the parade lap with you guys. And the next night you came over and tried sticking a pole where the sun don't shine. But, it's all fun and games. How long are we going now? 10, 15 plus years that we've known each other.
Longer than that.
And I didn't want to age us yet. So we already know that we're already bald and going gray. So, it's... We've always had fun. I mean, I still remember my Where's Waldo shirt from the Classic the one year, so I still have it.
So you went up to have a beer with everybody when you had that big wreck in turn 3. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, I either do it little or big, so it's one or the other.
You get the flag thing, right? Because you've seen it. And I was nervous about it, TK. Like, I was like, oh, Americans love complete silence during the anthem. Yeah. Are they going to be offended? I was worried, but I know how good that looks when it's 3 wide and all the flags are up.
It's, it gives me goosebumps. I mean, going to Australia and knowing that and how you guys perceive us throughout life and being able to go out there and represent the country that you're from, it shouldn't be anything less than respectful. If we were out there doing wheelies and donuts and stuff like that with the American flag hanging off the back, we'd probably have a 4-wheel drive. But we're trying to bring a sport that has been a shadow of limelight for a lot of years, and we have a lot of competitors now that are bringing this sport to the next level, and you have to be able to respect everything that you do. Not one person was kneeling down. Everybody stands up for the flags. Even, Australian Canadian flag. We respect what countries come over here and want to enjoy the fun that we're allowed to have.
What did you think of the skydivers coming in? That was pretty hectic, wasn't it?
That was pretty crazy. I was just trying to figure out where the Italian flag came from, but it was like, I think he forgot half of it, but, it was actually pretty good. We were watching it. It was like, there's somebody coming out of the sky. We don't know when they're coming, and then all of a sudden they were there. But that was actually
pretty narrow runway.
I would never have done it. I would have got stuck. I probably would have crash landed. As we already know that I can do that very well in life, but usually I'm strapped into something.
So show me. Let's talk about that because you've segued nicely into that. We've just obviously got a. Is this the same hot rod or is this a new one?
This is a brand new car.
Piece, right.
We could have possibly fixed the one that we crashed. We had a little bit of damage around the top of the cage that is probably not right to fix at this point. But I mean, mainly, I think I told Dave, I think there's 6 things that are used on this race car, and one of them was the seat, the steering wheel, and the motor. So that's 3 things, and a couple other little things here and there, but everything's brand new. Dave and Jamie give me great opportunities to come out here and race, and to be able to rebuild the car from what we ended up not having left after that, it definitely makes it, I'm very grateful for what they've allowed me to be able to do with them the last 8 years or so.
Jamie is such a sweetheart.
Oh yeah.
Like everything, we know Dave is under the radar, but Jamie is not even on the radar.
No, she actually came up the other night and we were playing a game and she had a couple glasses of wine with us. It's like, it's awesome seeing you have fun, Jamie. Like it was a good time, and she had a blast. And Dave showed up a little bit later, and he was like, "I'm going back to bed." It was like, "Hey, see you, old man. We'll talk to you later." But it's you get when I come around, everybody has their own lifestyles, and with the way life has ended up, they have 2 beautiful kids. I have a beautiful son. and we want to spend as much time with them before we lose that connection with them, and they turn 18 and want out of here. So, you know, we both know and understand, all three of us understand what is more important in life anymore, and racing, you know, it's always going to be there no matter how you look at it. Family may not be there all the time, so we have to look at those aspects of life now. The older you get, you know, we know life's short anymore when you get above, you know, a certain age, but we're not going to call yours out, Wade. So
I don't care, mate. You're getting very philosophical these days, DK. You're sounding more and more Californian. You know how many Californians it takes to change a light bulb?
I don't know.
Two. One to change the light bulb, one to relate to the experience. So, was the Jackson crash your biggest?
I don't think it was my biggest. I'm saying it was one of the closest to the top 5 as possible. I think probably Bulls Gap, Tennessee would probably be my biggest one, and I want to say 2003 or 2004, and we had a shock break and went straight to the wall head on. And I came to, and I always remember looking over, and somebody's car was running, and I looked over and saw Steve Kinzer taking his helmet off, and his eyes were about as big as they could be, and his face was white because I think he thought I was dead. And I just looked over, gave him a thumbs up, looked down, seen my motor was running, shut it off, and just sat there for a couple minutes. So
when Steve Kinzer has that look on his face, you know
it was a good crash, and that was in hot laps. And I crashed another time. I crashed later on that night too, so I took a couple weeks off after that one. So.
Did you say Bulls Gap or Balls Gap?
Well, there was a little bit of both after that. It was. Something was missing in certain areas at that point.
Show me your phone. Show me, if for people that haven't seen it, and I don't know that there's many that haven't, but let's have a look at what happened here. Right?
Hard crash in turn number 4.
Jeez. When Johnny goes quiet, you know it's big.
The Lundster Motorsports number 3 of Tim Kaeding involved, flipping wildly in turns 3 and 4. Also saw the 22 of Riley Goodnow involved as well. One car
I could be a pole
over top
vaulter if I
of the
wanted
guardrail
to,
in turns 3 and 4.
You know, for a few years that you were. So tell me what's going through your, you know, if you can tell me, what is going through your mind? Do you have any time to react at all, TK? Like what's...
out of the car. Scott Winters okay after sailing.
He went out of the joint. Scott Winters went out of the place, which nobody really saw that at the time.
Race fans word from turn 4, Tim Kaeding out of the car, walked to the ambulance under his own power. They are going to check him out, but Tim Kaeding was able to walk to the ambulance under his own power. So we'll take a look.
If there was brain damage, was it slow-mo? Here we go.
Exactly what happened. No contact between Riley Goodnow and Winters, and that's what sent Kaeding's car flipping.
Winters did that pretty gently over the wall. He kind of just crawled over it.
He crawled over it. I tried finding a new flight path for most of us to get through.
You were up there for a long time. Did it feel like a long time?
It's when you're in silence and you know you're floating through the air and you can count to possibly 5, I think is when I finally hit the ground again. That 5 seconds, a lot of things go through your mind. You try to justify why I'm still doing this, and you realize that it's something you've done your whole life. You're really good at it at times, and other times you have incidents like that. So,
do you close your eyes, Tim, and do you try and relax your grip on the wheel? Like, what do you do? Because if you hang on tight, is that worse?
It's hard to say. I mean, I feel sometimes when I know I'm going to go for a big crash, I kind of tend to black out. But I remember everything. You know, I remember the contact from, you know, Scott Winters getting into me, whatever happened there. I remember that impact. I remember the frontal impact, and then I just remember keeping my eyes closed, going, "This one's going to hurt," and I didn't know where I was going to land. The sound, when it's that quiet and there's no sound, your motor's not running, it tends to pull everything out of your mind and body that has any bit to do with living. You're just like, please allow me to get to the other side of this. And you know, any driver that says they're not scared, it's scary. You don't know what you're going to land on. You don't know where you're going to land. You don't know if you're going to get hit when you land. So you have 9 million things going through your head, and you know, the biggest thing I worry about is how my son's going to react to it, you know. And he's a true believer in Dad. You know, he's seen Dad go for a lot of good rides, and I think that one's probably one of the ones that scared him the most. He was
at least he knows how to sing a good song now.
Yeah, it depends.
Who sings "I Believe I Can Fly"? Is it like Celine Dion?
I think it's R. Kelly. So we're gonna leave that at that. But yeah, no, he definitely is the reason why I still do this a lot of the time, and I don't ever want to see him give up on his dream. Like, I'm not ever going to give up on mine. So
a few years ago, if I wanted anything for you, TK, it wasn't an Outlaws win, it wasn't a Nationals, it was that you and Cherie and your boy would get to the happy place.
Oh yeah.
So that's, to be honest with you, mate, that's what I'm most proud of for you and pleased for you, you know?
Yeah, this has been the longest I've been away from him since last year. Monday will be 32 days that I'm away from both of them. So it's time to go home.
Yeah.
Time to go see my kid and go hug all my loved ones.
Yeah. It's changed you as a person, mate, hasn't it?
God damn it, Wade. Yeah, it has, all the way through and through. It's made me a better person for myself, for one. I want to see my son grow up as a better man than I ever was. And
it's gonna be tough, mate.
Yeah, I know.
You're one of the good ones.
I know, but it's
I know what you mean, though.
If your kid can be better than you in any way, shape, or form, being a positive role model is the best thing that you can do for your son or daughter or anybody in your life.
Kids expose our weaknesses and our strengths.
Yeah, you can tell it brings out my weaknesses. So,
well, no, it brings out your strength, mate.
Yeah.
Because feeling emotional about your son and about your family. Last weekend I was at Nationals and my son Riley turned 21.
Yeah.
And last weekend I was in Jackson and my son Darcy was at his prom with his girlfriend. Shit. So you and I, I know it. But you and I
Wade's
have
getting
that balance
up too, so don't let him fool you.
Don't even think that doesn't happen, because it's hard, mate. Like it's it's what I love, but I'm thinking I'm with thousands of strangers, not with the four people that
mean most to you.
Yeah. Show me your boy. He's grown up now. He's growing up.
He's getting crazy. He's
I really hope he's not wearing gimp suits and things like that just yet.
So there's a couple pictures of me, a picture of me and
him. You look a lot like Jason Sides there, if I'm being honest with you.
Oh yeah, I'm still trying to figure out where the blonde hair comes from.
Yeah, look at that. He's a cool looking rooster, mate.
Oh yeah, he
Thank God he looks like his mum.
Oh, you have no idea. I'm glad he doesn't look as ugly as me. So, like he's all about the emo style.
Oh, check the rig and the hairdo. Oh, that's so cool. He's like should be in a rock band or with a skateboard. It's
one or the other. He walks around every day with 2-pound weights trying to get in shape.
No way.
Oh yeah, he wants to be a race car driver when he turns 8. He doesn't want to drive a race until he's 8 because he wants to have fun with his friends. So
wow,
I respect every little bit that he wants and what he wants to do in any aspect of racing. I'll be there 100% for him, whether it's sports, racing, if he wants to become a educational speaker or anything to that nature, motivational speaker. It's going to be, Dad's going to be behind him 100% on what he can do.
His mum's a sweetheart.
Oh, yeah. She's...
I miss the hugs at Knoxville because she always preferred hugging me than you, and I can understand why.
I would, too. I stink usually at the end of the day at Knoxville.
She obviously has been a really, calming and balanced influence on his life when you've been living the roller coaster life.
Yeah. She's the rock for this family. She deals with a lot, being gone for 2 weeks to a month to a couple months. It's hard for her to justify a lot of times me being gone because I get to go have fun. And she has to stay home and be a parent.
You're working. It's work.
It is. We both have real jobs.
When you're with Jason Sides, it's difficult too.
Oh yeah, when you're always with
balance.
Jason, that's a love-hate relationship sometimes. It's like I love you all the time, Jay, but I hate when we're hungover the next day. So, Cherie brings out the best in
she does.
What I can. She works her tail off all day and then has to be a parent at the same time while I'm back here being a goofball and
Not so much anymore, man. You're getting a little bit more, a little bit less DMJ. Even Dennis has settled down.
Oh, Dennis has settled down a lot more than any of us. He's
come a long way since the helicopter.
Yeah, exactly. I don't ever want to see that again.
I mean, he was quite an accomplished helicopter pilot, as I remember.
Yeah,
he could have flown for the military.
He probably could have. He
probably did.
Royal Air Force, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Probably more the Navy, I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's hard to skin something. I don't know.
When I was driving here this morning, I was thinking about the wreck a lot. When I saw it the other night, I was like, oh my God, I saw one of my mates, But then I was thinking, does it scare you? Do you go, oh, it's another big one? Or do you go, this puts more faith in me that these cars are safe? You put a really good post up about the safety aspects and the partners that you have in this deal. When you come away from that, you don't go, oh God, I hope it doesn't happen again. But you go, if it does, I've got a better chance than I thought I did before.
It's hard to say, because sometimes I feel like we put ourselves in the cars nowadays and stuff's too rigid. Seats are too rigid, mounting points are too rigid. I think if there's a little bit more movement, I kind of compare our body to a handful of slime. You put a handful of slime in your body, it finds the weakest points to get out of your hand. Body wants to do the same thing in a race car. My body hurts in a lot of different spots that usually don't ever hurt in a crash, but you take something that hard of an impact, your body wants to go somewhere. Your body still wants to go this direction or that direction.
It's the only point of give as well.
Exactly. And I think there's still room for improvement. The EMTs, when they're checking my heart rate and all that stuff, they're like, your heart rate's only like 65 beats a minute. Like, are you gonna die on us? It's like, no, I'm just thankful to be here talking to you. You know? Like, they would expect your heart rate to be up. It's like, if I didn't get out of the car, my heart rate probably would have been through the roof. Yeah. Being able to get out and walk to the ambulance was, a big sigh of relief for myself and everybody around me, just because I got out of the car and was able to walk on my own and talk. And, I went straight to the trailer and called home and started crying, and just say thank you. And I'm glad to be here and I love you guys. So, because
streaming has made it, everyone knows straight away now. Yeah. Like before that, 5 or 6 years back, before COVID even, you just heard about it. Oh my God, he's been in a wreck. And I remember Mandy Pittman and, those kind of girls telling me that they'd be in the t-shirt trailer and watching Race Monitor. Suddenly it would go red. And then they had to worry. Whereas at least they've got it set up in their phone in the trailer, right?
Yeah, and nowadays, it may be, 5-10 second delay or whatever it is, but you're able to control what outcome the fans and everybody watching gets to see and or whatever is going to develop from what happened. It takes away from the livery of being at the racetrack. I think it holds a lot of people back, especially when it's a 105 degree day out. Most people don't like going and sitting in the sun all day. If you can go watch it on TV, it helps a little bit, but being away is, I think, the biggest thing. If you have such a 25-hour road trip or 10-hour plane flight to get home, it's like, oh, hopefully I can make it to that airplane on Monday or Tuesday to get back out of here and go home and see, let them know. I mean, hell, when we started, like we were talking earlier, we didn't have phones. You had to read something in the newspaper, or somebody found a payphone and called you collect. Like go find a payphone now. I guarantee you're not calling anybody on it. So
wow, reverse charges and let's throw a bit of light on first responders for a second. Track crew. The Knoxville Raceway went through an extreme test of their abilities with the Casa Macedo fire only a couple months back. Those people wear those fire suits all day, like in the heat of the sun, with those helmets. They risk their lives. It's a very stressful environment. Without first responders, fire crew, and medics, boy.
Racing wouldn't be what it is. You look at all the top tiers of racing, NASCAR, NHRA, IndyCar, they all have EMTs, medics that travel
the
with
whole
them
series
all the time.
There's a consistency in the treatment,
yeah,
isn't there?
and you know, I think we have to take a page out of that at some point in racing to know that, you know, we as drivers can be safe, because there's going to be a licensed, you know, EMT or anything like that at a racetrack. You know, I know there's a few racetracks around there that don't have, you know, EMTs or ambulances at a racetrack, and they still proceed with a race. You know, and it's heartbreaking. You know, it takes one bad thing. It takes one bad fuel line. It takes a guy getting stuck in a car and getting hit, you know, and you're not getting him out. You know, EMTs or crew guys, you know, safety crew guys are a fixture on racing, no matter what sport you're in. And, you know, Formula One stepped up a long time ago to make sure it,
with a chase vehicle and a surgeon in the car, and
yeah, I mean, they made sure that nobody gets hurt. You know, we don't, you know, a lot of series don't have that kind of fund, but if you're able to have somebody that's an EMT that can sit there and overlook and or point any safety crew in the right direction, it will benefit not only the series, it'll benefit the racetracks that you go to and or participate at.
How much longer, mate? 10?
I don't know. I can't tell you that. It depends on when Tannen starts racing.
You got to race with your kid, though, right? So Max Dumsney held on. Marcus said to him, "You can't quit until you race me."
Oh shit!
Right? And that's a good. Think about that.
I'll be almost 60 years old. My kid
think about flipping your kid off as you roll around to take the green.
I'd flip off and I'd wheel him. I'm not even gonna lie about it, because I know he'd do it to me. I play video games with him. All he does is wants to crash, Dad, because I put down laps. It's like, sorry, dude. Like, you're gonna learn someday.
So how old is he now?
He'll be 7 in October.
Okay, so within 8 years he'll be in a sprint car, probably running a Lundstrom car. So he'll be 15. So you got to wait 8 years before you pull a pin at least. Good deal.
That'd be 50. I'll be 53 at that point. So,
perfect deal.
I turn 45 next week, and now it's we'll go home and have fun, and I will definitely make sure my kid gets one crack at it against his dad.
Perfect.
Hopefully his grandfather's still around, then we can have another 4 generations of family together. So,
boy, howdy.
yeah.
It's good to see you, brother.
Good seeing you too, brother.